morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Do you believe it's Thursday already? Holy cow. Time flies. Anyway, good morning or good evening, depending where you're at. I'm not sure what time zone you're in or where you're at, but happy Thursday morning here in Florida, where it is a balmy 40-something degrees. Well, thank you guys for tuning in last night and contributing to the stream. And I want to say a special thanks to one of the folks in my chat that kind of called my attention to the fact that apparently in Twitch chat you have a follow mode, which means the only people that can chat with you while they're watching you on Twitch are people that actually follow you. I did not know this, and so since January 1st, apparently this is a default that Twitch puts in, where, you know, if they follow you, they can chat. If they don't, you can't chat. So I've kind of wondered why I would have, you know, I might have 8 or 9 people watching, but nobody's saying a single word. And then he explained to me it's basically if they don't follow me, they can't chat, which I turned that off. So hopefully, next time you stop by the channel, if you're just trying to find out if you want to follow and you want to chat a little bit, feel free. I think they enable that to keep trolls out, which are fine. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I just wish I would have known a little bit ahead of time. So I do want to say thanks. Also, I had another suggestion about the lighting that I'm using to light the chroma key behind me. I guess it kind of washes me out. It looked like a Band-Aid, so I need to have a softer light. So I'm going to go ahead and try and work on that before tonight's before tonight's 7 o'clock stream. I'm going to try to adjust my lighting and see if I can get it done properly to where it doesn't look so washed out. But anyway, thanks again, guys, and gals, for joining me. I will definitely try to do my best to make those corrections that you wanted, you suggested. So anyway, I did go home. If you saw me on the stream going, the afternoon drive coming home, I was exhausted. I'm just not getting great sleep. Actually, I'm getting very little sleep. So yesterday on the way home, I was like kind of nodding off. And I was afraid that I was going to have one of the next viral videos of some guy that was streaming live and got in a car accident. But it had nothing to do with streaming. It had everything to do with just keeping my eyes open, trying to stay awake. But now that I went home, got a couple extra hours sleep before the stream at 7, so I felt okay. But the same thing happened last night. I actually laid down this morning at 2:10. So if I dozed off by 2:30, I got to be out the door. Now it's 6 o'clock or a little after 6. So I still cheated myself out of some sleep. I just find it really hard. Ever since, this is kind of something that's been going on since 94, 95, right? Basically, ever since I got out of the military, I have not been able to go to sleep more than just a few hours, 3 to 4 hours. I don't know, it's almost like a panic mode. If I sleep more than that, I get up with my heart racing and I'm kind of trying to, I know I can sleep 8 or 10 hours if I want on certain days, but I don't. I'll get up, and even if I have 10 hours that I can sleep, I'll get up after 3, and I'll end up staying up for a few hours, and then I can sometimes force myself to go back to sleep. But boy, it's tough. Just sleep. And of course, it never bothered me before because sleeping seems like such a waste of time. I'm not doing anything. I'm not really, you're just laying there, And my son says, well, that's your body needs to have the restorative sleep. And I'm thinking, well, it'll eventually catch up to me. I'll get all the sleep I need when I die. I don't need it now. So, but I guess apparently I do. So this morning I'm a little drowsy again, but I think during lunch I'll probably go and crash out for my lunch hour in the car, just kind of kick back, relax. don't want to end up, falling asleep, this afternoon driving home. But, I was talking to my wife last night. I said, this is one of the things that I've been thinking about it for so long, but before, when I lived in Arizona, before I moved here to Florida, and I hate saying again. Oh, that's great. Before I moved to Florida, I had tons of things that I was involved in, tons of projects I was doing. I had multiple businesses going. I was interacting, I probably received on average of 30 to 40 emails a day that I had to respond to from vendors, business people, partners that I had. And ever since moving here, it's been so boring for me. I literally get up 6:15 here, we're heading to work. I will sit, I'll do my I'll teach these students, at the prison, I'll teach the inmates, and I leave at about 3:15, 3:30, go home, and that's it. There's nothing. It's so boring for me, and I'm a guy that has to be like, when I worked for Deutsche Post, I had 10 projects going at once. I was multitasking, and I think that helps because that's why I don't sleep that much. My brain doesn't shut down. It keeps firing. And back when I was working and had all the projects, had a lot of things going on, not only did I get a little bit more sleep, I was actually solid, sound sleep. And now, without things to keep me going and, keep the mind active, oh my God, it's terrible. So I was talking to her last night. I said, the panhandle that I live in, because they had the Hurricane Michael come through, there's a lot of damage, a lot of businesses that have went under, a lot of, it needs to have some repair work done, if you will. But they've been doing a good job bringing everything back. The beach, where all the, most of the people come for spring break, that wasn't damaged too bad. So all in all, the city got hit actually harder than the beach, to be honest with you. But I've been thinking about what is it that's going to excite me again. And I do enjoy the stream. I do enjoy doing this. But I finally say, you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead. I'll probably end up doing another business or two, get something going to where I can start interacting again with folks and really building. I don't know what I'll do. But I was thinking if I will go ahead and I will stream it every step of the way, probably maybe put it all together during the week and then put it up, not as a live stream, but just put it up as like on Patreon or maybe on my Sunday, do a stream on Sunday or something. But I'll take every step of the way while I build this business, and I'll show you guys how easy it is, because I do it with none of my money. I don't put up any of my money or very little. And I kind of leverage, I put this business together using OPM, other people's money, but not so much banks or, partners or anything like that. There's really some unique ways of putting together businesses without borrowing money, going into debt, having partners. You don't want any of that stuff. So I'll show you some really cool ways how to fund your business and build a business from scratch, and you'll be able to kind of see what I mean when I say you can do anything you set your mind to. And I'll start a business with nothing, next to nothing, and I'll just kind of walk you guys through how I do it, because it's not hard. All you got to do is get an idea of what kind of business you want, and even if you don't have an idea, I'll show you how I actually put together, because I really, at this point, I don't know what type of business I'm going to do, but I'll go ahead, I'll start filming that and streaming the thought process, how I go about finding out what business I want to do and if it'll be a profitable business, because that's really the key, is making it profitable. So I'll probably go ahead and start putting together something like that, because I really need something that's going to excite me again. Besides the stream, I want something that's going to make me interactive a lot more than I am today. Just going to work, coming home, it's killing me. It's actually making me feel like I get nothing. Even though I'm getting things accomplished, it's not the same feeling. It's not the same sense of accomplishment as when you're building something for yourself. You're building your own business. those are the things that really kind of impact me and make a difference. So I think I'll probably end up doing that. You guys can definitely, and I'll try not to say "elm" again, but you guys can actually watch and see how I put it together. And then if you actually have an idea where you want to start a business, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions or see if I can help your process along. I mean, that's really, I've got to do something. Every day that goes by, I kind of go, oh my God, it's another day that it's that same routine. You fall into a routine, and you get complacent. You're like, okay, I have money coming in, I go to work, I come home, I pay my bills. What else is there? I mean, I'm not big on, I don't spend a ton of time on social media other than the stream that I'm doing. But for me, there has to be more. There has to be some other source of satisfaction. And I'll tell you, I hope you guys are the same way. I hope you stay active, busy, because mentally, and that's another thing, I think mentally I get foggy. I get kind of just burned out of doing. Can you actually get too tired from doing nothing? I mean, if that's even possible. I mean, I get so tired. I mean, I'm literally exhausted because I've done nothing. I don't even know if that's possible. I'm exhausted because I've done nothing. But it's actually the way I feel a lot of times. I just don't feel any sense of accomplishment. I always want to be doing something. And it's just, some people look forward to retirement. Like, I've actually retired 3 times already. I've retired 3 times. I retired with my computer company. I had a computer company that had a bunch of stores. And, so I retired the first time. I retired another time when I had the franchises I started. I created these franchises. I retired then I retired. The whole idea behind retirement is to sit and do nothing, I guess. Some people go fishing. Some people do. I can't do it. I can't sit there and do. I tried it. I bought a huge house up north in Michigan. It was like, my garage was like 5,000 square foot garage. It was like 6-7 cars right off of Green Bay. I thought for sure that was going to be life. I just wanted to retire. And after 3 months of that, about 3 months, maybe 4 months, I couldn't take it. I moved. That's when I moved from Michigan to Arizona. The house I kept for a year just sitting there for a year until I basically gave it away. I mean, I basically just, I didn't, a lot of people were trying to make profit off their home. I basically gave it to the person to just, because I got tired of having it for a year and doing nothing with it. And the one guy put an offer in, and I said, yep, I'll take it. And he was like, really? I said, yeah, that's fine. Merry Christmas. And I just, I couldn't stay retired. I don't even understand the concept behind it. A lot of people say, oh, well, that's when you get to relax and you get to look. To me, relaxation is life, doing something active, doing something fun, doing something I enjoy. That's more relaxing than sitting and doing nothing. I mean, my dad retired, oh God, he retired when he was maybe 40? No, it wasn't 40, actually. He retired in his 30s, probably 30s, because at 40, 50, he died at 59. Yeah, but he retired early. And he went out, tried fishing for a while. He fished for a while, but then he ended up finding other work and doing other things. He just, even though he was quote-unquote retired, he didn't like sitting either. And I think that's kind of the way I feel. I can't see just going fishing, or, I could do those things for a little while. I could go fishing for a couple weeks, maybe, do a little bit of traveling, maybe, but that's about it. After that, there's nothing else. There's no maybe it's a challenge. Maybe that's what maybe life is for me, is all about challenge. Maybe that's why I do what I do here. I mean, I actually get a sense of gratification out of what I do. I'm an instructor in a prison, very high stress, very stressful job, and challenging. So maybe that's what it is. It's I miss the challenge. I miss that, because we all like to have those things in our life that, that's why like people like Billy Joel go after Christy Brinkley, or these guys, they shoot for the moon, they have really high aspirations and goals, and they try to achieve them even when everybody else says they're impossible. I like that. I like it when people tell me I can't do something, or that won't work, because I'm going to find it that much more challenging to prove them wrong. And are there times where they're right and I'm wrong? Very rarely. If you tell me, if I put my mind, I say I can do this, then guess what? I can do this. It's not something that I didn't think out or think through. So it's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and try and find out this next week or two. I'm going to find out and get an idea of what businesses I want to put together, or what business I want to look at. And I think I'll go ahead and I'll film it, or not, I won't film it. I'll go ahead and record it and maybe put it up, as I said, on either on my Patreon site, or I'll put it up on Sundays to view. But it'll kind of step through the thought process of what I do when I think about business, how I put it all together, and people can see that it's just not hard. It's when you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. You really can. It's not something you've heard it probably ever since you were a kid. Oh, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. And it really is. People say, well, I can't be an astronaut. Well, you really could if you wanted. It's just all about the passion you have to either do it or don't do it. So it's, I don't know. I just think that we kind of limit ourselves, and I hate being limited to anything. So, but I will try over the next week or two. I'm going to try to adjust my sleep schedule to get some of that restorative sleep that I need. I haven't checked to see why. The Fitbit I have will track my sleep patterns for the week. It'll tell me how much time I spend in deep sleep, how much time I spend in REM sleep, light sleep. So I try to, it'll send me a report usually to my email at the end of the week to let me see how I've done. And these last couple weeks I've been doing really bad. So I know I have some sleep deprivation there because I've been unable to shut down at night. And I've tried, for those of you that are saying, oh, get some, I've actually had some sleep medicine prescribed to me that doesn't work. They've prescribed lorazepam, and I took like maximum doses of that, didn't work. They tried Ambien and Lunesta, and none of that stuff works. So it works for some people, but for me, it still doesn't slow my brain down enough to where I can doze off. So I literally have to just stay awake till my body is so physically exhausted, my eyes close and I just go to sleep. That's basically how it has to happen. That's not how I want it to happen. There's got to be an easier way. But for me, that's pretty much what it is. So hopefully you guys can fall asleep and just crash out every night, get a good 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever. I think I'm going to have to adjust some things. Even if it means I just go lay down at 9 o'clock until even if it's sheer boredom, which isn't too much of a stretch of imagination to have, too much boredom to put me to sleep. So maybe that's what I'll have to do, is just do the stream and then just go lay down right afterwards. And I think a lot of it too has to do with unplugging, untethering from the electronics. Don't pick up my laptop, don't pick up the desk, or don't sit down at the desktop, put my tablet away. I think that has a lot to do with it too. If I look at how I use technology, I'm on technology for example now, I'm sitting here streaming live, using the technology, using what I have at my disposal. I go to work, and for every minute that I'm at work, I'm on a computer system there, and I'm working, doing that. So then I go home, I sit down in front of a computer. So, my whole day is filled with this technology that's constantly there. So maybe it's a matter of just getting rid of that, minimizing it, not getting rid of it, but minimizing the amount of time I spend on it. Maybe that'll help my brain waves kind of adjust to not. But I love information, and I love to try and find. I'm very selective. I don't know if you folks do the same thing, but when I read the news, when I read any website I go to, I very quickly scan. I don't sit there and read in depth the whole article. I scan for key points, and then I move on to the next one. And that's how I absorb a lot of the information. Like my wife hates it. I'll come home and she'll say, "Oh, did you know this happened today? Or did you know this person died?" And she'll be telling me all the stuff that she's read during the day. And yes, I know that. And I will repeat back to her what happened during the day. And she's like, "Well, what do? Do you just sit and read all the news in the morning or what?" And it's just the way I absorb information. I very quickly scan. I don't have time to sit there and read all the nuances of an article. I just get the core points, just the gist of what it is. And if I'm interested, if it is something that I'm really interested in, like there's times where I'll read articles on graphene or stem cell research or quantum physics, or if there is something that I'm interested in and I really want to understand, I will sit and read the entire article and do more research. But for the most part, news itself is kind of cut and dry. There's really nothing to it. Everything beyond the core points is just filler words, if you will. But I will try and probably do a little bit less with the social media or just media in general, computers, and see if that'll help me get some better sleep. At least I've been able to, you guys know that's January 1st. January 1st is when I started this kind of a change of lifestyle. I've been minimizing the sugar, minimizing the carbs that I take. And people were saying, "Oh, you're on the Atkins diet." I'm like, "Well, not really." I was in the beginning, really limiting my carbs, but now I'm at a point where I've started to add some carbs back, and it's not at all as stringent as like the keto diet and all the other stuff. I'm just trying to limit the bad things that affect my blood sugar, and it's been working really good. I've been feeling much more alert, but all of a sudden I've hit this plateau to where my sleep is really starting to be impacted. So I'll try to adjust, man. I hope everyone that's watching, the worst thing I could do is try and convince you that lack of sleep is okay, because it's not, man. It's a killer. Literally, I think I was reading something on Science Daily that said lack of sleep, it's a killer, So let's see what today brings. If you're sticking with me near the morning drive, I appreciate you. I don't know what today's going to hold. Every time we get to the prison, we don't really know. It could be a lockdown. It could be all kinds of things. But tomorrow I have no class. And some of you would say I never have any class. You have no class. But tomorrow I don't have any students coming in to teach. It's basically a teacher work day, so I can kind of catch up on everything I need to catch up on. And I'll be trying to work on my network there, but that's about it. So, also, last night, after I got off the stream, I started thinking about, we have kind of an open, free-flowing stream, we talk about whatever, but I was thinking about, on the certain days, Monday through Friday, or whenever the stream is going, I was thinking about having just topics for those days on a regular basis that we can talk about. Now, we can talk about anything, but like, for example, on one day, the topic may be motivation and inspiration, and that would give us a starting point for the show where we can at least talk about during that day. I don't know, I'm kicking around so many ideas. That's probably what keeps me awake at night too. But I was thinking about just having certain topics, certain days. for actually suggested topics. That way, as people come into the channel, they can get an idea of what we might be talking about during that time. I don't know. Or I can just leave it and wing it. Really undecided at this time. Oh, God. Whew. Yeah, once I get in, I'll get my caffeine this morning and try and get a little bit of that going. I was actually thinking, too, like, in the beginning when I started this diet, now this lifestyle change, I was eating a lot more. I was eating breakfast. I'd get up, make eggs and sausage, and, you know, I was eating more. And now, it was so tough. I was eating, and losing weight. It was great, because not only was I eating a lot, I was also losing a lot of weight. But what happened is, for me, it got harder and harder to eat as much as I had to. I mean, you got to keep your metabolism going. You got to keep it, you know, so your body knows it's not starving. So I was constantly eating, and the weight was falling off. But then what I've noticed is I've stopped eating breakfast again. I don't eat lunch. I go home and I have something small for I've kind of fallen back into that eating routine that I used to have where I didn't eat a lot. So now I've noticed the weight is kind of tapered off. The weight loss is tapered off. So I'm eating less, and my body, my metabolism is storing more fat because it thinks I'm starving again. But I also noticed when I was doing breakfast, doing lunch, I actually was feeling better, feeling more alert. I didn't have the congestion, so it's kind of a, man, it's really a drag to actually, you know, now I'm noticing these things going, wow, I'm not eating like I used to. Well, and I was eating all the time, feeling great, had energy. Now I eat less. Yeah, boy, I tell you. Oh, well, we'll see. I might go back to the gym, do my gym membership, and that'll give me some more energy, I think. That's another thing, too. Once I stop, you know, doing exercise, because I have the job I have at the prison is behind a desk, or, you know, I'm up but nowhere near as much activity as I would like. Oh, I will get going, though. I will. It takes me a lot longer these last couple weeks to get wound up, but I'll get there. So anyway, if you stuck with me this far, God bless you. I have no idea why you're still here, but glad to see you are. If you're watching, if you could do me a favor, if you haven't followed, go follow. Things will get better, I promise. I'm a relatively new streamer, so it'll get better in time. But I do appreciate you guys sticking with me during the morning drive. Coming up to work shortly, so I may end up losing you as we go down the street on the way to work. Very weird up ahead. I have a wall of fog or haze. I mean, there's none around me now, but up ahead, it's just a wall of it. Really weird. This is probably lower swampland, I guess. It's almost like I'm going into a forest fire or smoke. Watch through the window, see if you can see what I'm talking about. When I go through, like right now, I'm just coming up to the edge of it. It's like a giant cloud over the road. Watch. I don't know if you can see it out my windows. All of a sudden, it'll just go super foggy. And it's just one patch right by that bridge. It's just like a cloud that was just sitting there. Really wild. But that's how it is here. It's the weather here is strange. Alright. This is one of those roads where there's just a ton of traffic up and down this road. This is, I guess, one of the main thoroughfares into Panama City. Is where everybody comes down this road from Georgia or different parts of the state. You know, I wonder out here if there's any, you know, I have to, on the way home, I have to take a look. I wonder if there's any businesses that are on this stretch of the road I might take a look at about starting. That might be interesting to see what's out here where it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but yet the traffic count is huge. So, you know, you've got, because it's the main thoroughfare in and out of the city, tons of traffic. You might be able to find something to do out here. Let's start a little business out here, something that'll, of course we'll have to figure out what type of business. But anyway, guys, if you stuck with me this far, God bless you, I appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and head in. I'll probably lose you up here like we usually do. The signal will drop out for a few minutes. Then I'll go ahead, I'll get parked. And I'll say goodbye to you then. I will try my best today to get back on track with my schedule, my sleep, everything, because it does make it when I'm not firing on all cylinders, it's tough to kind of put together the thoughts I want to. Even though they're there, it's hard to put them out. So I'll try and get back on the diet, start eating more, doing what I needed to do, because at that point I was feeling great. Now I'm kind of that lethargic feeling, that tired, you know, down feeling. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't like that. That's why I wouldn't take drugs or medication for sleep, is because they would make me feel kind of dopey and lethargic after taking them. Even though they claimed they wouldn't, they did. So, anyway, I'll probably lose you in about 5. All right, here it is. We're at work, guys. I appreciate you for hanging in during the morning drive. If you stuck with me, I appreciate it. Looks like it's a little scarce today. We get a lot of people that will take a Thursday off and maybe a Friday together. So it's weird. I come in, I see a lot of empty parking. Normally, this place is just filled, you know, but today it is kind of desolate compared to what it usually is. Hoping I didn't miss a memo or something where we were off today. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think we're good. All right, folks. Thank you very much for sticking with me during this morning drive and hearing me kind of drone on. It was definitely kept me awake a little bit. I appreciate that. We'll see you at the afternoon stream. I'll try and be a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more awake. Hopefully have some exciting things to tell you. Maybe we got a riot or something cool going on. Who knows? Well, not a riot. I would never want a riot. But, like, maybe there's some kind of maybe they found some contraband. They're just going to tell us all, no class today, lockdown. We're going to go ahead and shake down these inmates. That happens all the time because it's just and sometimes they do it when they don't even find anything. They just do it to keep these guys on their toes and make sure we eliminate any of the bad things that are in the prison. So anyway, folks, have a great day. Appreciate you sticking with me. We'll see you a little bit later this afternoon.